have a suspected terrorist attack on the airfield.
Crash 3, Crash 7, Engine 1, Rescue, Engine 2, EMS. Respond to dual body explosion on the airfield.
We had a C-130 that came in to help the 8229 deploy. When that aircraft arrived, we had the initial explosion. The soldiers that were preparing for deployment, their equipment, the aircraft, and a couple of fuel cells were exploded and caused some significant damage, and we think about 70 casualties were involved.
Don't forget me!
The CAT team is assembled as a crisis action team. That's what CAT stands for. And it is members of the primary staff who have the capability to go into their organizations and task their organization to support the incident commander. We are here to support Chief Gunderson in this situation at the site, working the incident, getting him buses, food, and the assets he needs to execute his mission there on the site.
Our initial role from a fire department point of view is to control and extinguish all the fires, perform rescue, save victims involved in the fire, set up the incident command system, all in accordance with the Fort Knox established procedures to set up an incident command organizational structure and bring together all the key response agencies, EMS, Provost Marshal, DES organization, fire department, and our other assets that we have responding to this.
Our role is to coordinate from the Provost Marshal law enforcement side of the house, to coordinate our response, to ensure, one, that we get the scene secure, establish perimeters around the scene to ensure that emergency vehicles can get in, but other individuals who might not have a need to be at the scene are kept away. The other is an attempt to find out what happened. It's our job as the military police to talk to folks, see if they saw anything unusual, and to see if we can apprehend the perpetrators who did this.
Well, I represent Ireland Army Community Hospital. Our organizational role is huge. Naturally, something of this magnitude creates a lot of casualties. We're here in force to make sure that all these folks that are injured are triaged properly and evac to the hospital for further definitive care.
This is a shift in what we have typically done as far as triage and movement of patients from an event here on post. Typically, in the past, what has occurred is we have EMS on the scene at the event, and then they will go directly from scene to our hospital as well as other hospitals. Folks that are unstable to a point where they can't be safely transferred, we will attempt to stabilize them either in our OR or in our ER, and then transfer them to a higher level of facility.
We've been tasked with establishing and setting up what we call the Emergency Family Assistance Center. One of the things that we were doing today was to test our shelter operations as part of the Family Assistance Center. When the commander gave the word that families were going to be evacuated and that an assistance center needed to be stood up, I got that phone call, we put our plan into action, and we mobilized to this facility here to establish that shelter operation as well as a family assistance center.
As the chaplain section, our job is to provide pastoral care and counseling for family member soldiers in crisis situations. And so we had a team of 5. We had 2 military and family life consultants here. I brought 2 chaplain candidates with me and myself, and so between the 5 of us, we were able to provide some crisis counseling, crisis intervention for those people who were involved in the scenario today.
Exercises or scenes of this size, one of the biggest challenges is always communication. You have a number of different agencies out here, agencies on Fort Knox, agencies off of Fort Knox, our mutual aid partners that are coming in to help us. And just to get everyone talking and everyone understanding a common operational picture of what's going on the installation is a challenge.
As with any major emergency, getting control of the scene with a limited number of assets, getting the additional assets on scene and deploying them to get control of the scene and eventually mitigate the scene and save and move all the casualties, extinguish all the fires, and basically get the incident under control. The first hour is tough.
I think the biggest challenge we had was the initial intake, on addressing their immediate concerns and getting them processed into the Family Assistance Center and shelter operations.
It's very, very easy in a hospital like this to get complacent, for us to sit around and go, oh, we're fine, all we got to do is run our clinic and do all our paperwork. The problem is that isn't a good thing, because the reality is, whether we're soldiers of war or not, we're a hospital. And hospitals, every couple of months, maybe every couple of years, depending upon the community you're in, are going to have a massive badness occur. Today we are simulating a massive badness occurring, and if you don't look for that kind of thing, if you don't train for that kind of thing, if you don't say to yourself, I need to be prepared to do this kind of thing, when it really happens, you're not ready.
It's really important that we practice our response to incidents, whether they're man-made, natural disaster, and that we can react to those incidents. And it gives us an opportunity to test and verify the plans that we have in place, what works, what doesn't work, what we need to fine-tune, what we had issues with.